Hi everybody, Happy New Year. I'm Lori Michael Fitness, specializing in senior fitness in the home. Make sure, please, stay hydrated before you start any exercises. This month I want to start off some exercises to show you for your posture, some of the do's and don'ts. So I want to make sure that your posture lying down replicates your standing posture for optimal core strength. So my friend Kim is going to help film some of the things we're going to do together, so have fun.
Okay, so Lori mentioned optimal core strength, and the way we get to that is through posture, and that we want to replicate our posture lying down to our posture standing up. So here's something that you can do to test your standing posture. Just grab a dowel, any kind of stick, a bar, a broomstick, and we place this stick, the dowel, along your back. We want connection at your head, right between the shoulder blades needs to connect, and at the pelvis. And notice when she has those three connections that there's a little bit of space. Can you see that? At her low back. There's a little bit of space in her low back. We want to replicate that lying down. So where people might think, sit down, lie down, push your waist against the floor, that's not going to strengthen your low back. So let's lie down. I'll have Lori bend her knees and just lie comfortably on your back. One way that we can find our position is just through tilting the pelvis. Let the back sink and then let the back arch, and let the back sink and let the back arch. And you're going to consider that halfway point from arching the back to flattening the back and stopping where you feel your back is halfway in between. The pelvic area from your pubic bone to your hip bone should be flat, parallel to the ceiling. And then something that you can think about is your tailbone. Pointing your tailbone straight away from you, that would be parallel to the floor. Okay? Now, if you practice bracing, we can do almost any kind of exercise with good posture. So you can put your thumbs on the side of your torso, right in the flesh, below the ribs and above the hips, and you're going to tighten up. You're going to stiffen up the body and tighten up, and you'll feel your muscles push into your thumbs if you're bracing, and then relax. We're not pulling in, we're just stiffening up. And just practice this. You can practice this every day. You know you're doing it right when you feel the muscles press back into your thumbs. That's bracing, and that activates all of our core. So let's put that to an exercise. You're going to relax your arms by your side. Feel weight in your pelvis. The back of your pelvis is called your sacrum, your rib cage, and your shoulder blades. But remember, we're not pushing down on the waist, and we're not flattening the waist. We're going to brace the torso, stiffen up, and lift one leg and then the other to tabletop. So the knees are 90 degrees, the hips are 90 degrees. Now holding that core brace, you're going to lower one foot from the hip and then bring that leg back up. So we'll move one at a time. One leg down and then back up, and the other leg down and up. It's not about moving the leg, it's about bracing your torso while you move the leg. So there's absolutely no spinal movement, only hip joint. Very nice. Thanks, Lori. So that's our first step to strengthening our core in a good neutral posture. Let's get a little glute action going on, because the glutes are very important for maintaining the health of your back and staying out of back pain. One mistake that people make when they're doing a side lying clam to strengthen the outer glutes is the place we put our legs. So if you're bending your knees and hips and bringing your knees too far forward, we tend to round the lower back. And we want to maintain that neutral posture that we just established. So if you move your knees away from you a little bit more extension of the hip, okay, you're more likely to have a nice extended lower back. Now, the other thing we need to do is stack the hip over the hip, the ribs over the ribs, and the shoulders over the shoulders. And then make sure you have what we call a little mouse house. At your waist, the bottom waist, we don't want to push that down into the floor, just like we don't want to push the waist into the floor. So where Lori's feeling there, she has a little bit of space. Okay, and then you can use the fingers of that hand to help stabilize you. Feet stay together, and all you're going to do is lift your knee and hold. You should feel a little activation in the outer glute. Lori's pointing to her outer glute. And if you are, then you can take the knee down and back up. You don't have to lift high. What we want to do is stabilize the torso. So let's see Lori not stabilize her torso. See how she's lifting her knee and rolling her body back too? Do that a couple more times so they can see it. That rolling in the torso means you're not rotating the hip and you're not getting the glute. So what we want to do is make sure you're stable in the torso, just lifting the leg, keeping the feet together, and feeling that activation in your glute. Okay.
So you can try that maybe on the floor, or if you do it on your bed, just be careful because you're not going to necessarily feel what you would feel if you were on a harder surface. If you have the luxury of having a massage table, perhaps something that's not on the ground, then of course you can use that, but a firm bed, it's got to be a firm bed if you're going to use your bed. So anyway, thank you everybody so much. Good way to start off the new year, and thanks to my friend Kim, and we'll see you next month. Take care.